Turned Up Fitness is a movement with thousands of women getting involved and just absolutely loving the Turned Up Fitness effect. It is so much fun and it makes you feel super sassy.
All I can say is, if you are not doing Turned Up right now, you are missing out.
Hi everyone, welcome to Turned Up Fitness's podcast. I am Shakira Johnson, founder and creator of Turned Up Fitness. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 of my most valuable tips on how to become an outstanding Turned Up Fitness instructor. Now you might not be a Turned Up Fitness instructor, you might be a dance fitness instructor or a group exercise instructor, but I hope you can take something away from me today. Okay, so my first tip would be definitely empowerment comes from self-empowerment. So enable for you to inspire and motivate your class members, you need to be taking care of yourself. So the first thing I would suggest, your nutrition, making sure your nutrition is on point, so eating clean. You want to be eating foods that's going to fuel your body and give you lots of energy and support your immune system in order for you to go into a class and give it everything you've got. So I would highly recommend preparing your meals the night before, so that way it can stop you when hunger strikes. You just grab a baguette or a packet of crisp, because eating foods like that before going into class, you're never going to be able to perform at your best. So yeah, preparing your meals the night before, always carrying healthy snacks with you, and drinking plenty of water. As fitness instructor, we tend to lose more water and we need to be drinking more than the average person. So I would recommend drinking 2 to 4 litres of water a day. This will flush out your system and also energize you. And did you know that drinking water is better than any eye cream? I read in a health magazine once before that drinking lots of water is actually better than creme de la mer eye cream, because it goes to the skin last and it goes and hydrates under your eyes. So drinking lots of water will not only increase your energy levels and flush out your system, but it'll also keep you nice and plump under your eyes. If you're unsure of what types of food that you should be eating and you would like a meal plan, you can go to www.turnedupfitness.com, and if you subscribe to our mailing list, you'll be able to download a free nutrition plan. So that's www.turnedupfitness.com. Go to our mailing list and just download a free nutrition plan, and that will guide you to the right foods that we should be eating. And mindset, so you want to be going into the classroom with a positive, upbeat mindset, so your mood will be infectious. So even if your car's just broken down, you don't want to go into the classroom and putting your problems onto your class members. So whatever's happened to you, leave that at the door. So you're going in positive, upbeat, and your intention should be to wow your class members and to give them an amazing workout. So always keep that in your mind as well. And being passionate about the program will be really infectious as well. So if you love the program that you're teaching, more chances are that your class members are going to love it as well, because it'll be contagious and it'll show through. If you're bored of a program and you start thinking about what you're having for tea, then your class members will notice and it's not going to be motivating at all. So having passion and love for the program will entice your class members to have passion and love it as well, because it will just be infectious. Sleep as well. So in order to go in and perform at your best, you want to be energized. So having a good 8 hours sleep the night before. Now I absolutely love my sleep and I do have an 8-hour night's sleep, but sometimes if you've had a really busy day and your energy can dupe, and then you've got a class at night, sometimes having a little downtime to yourself, like taking 30 minutes away from anyone and just having a little meditation or doing some breathing exercises just to calm yourself back down, get yourself rested so you can go again. Yeah, and exercise as well. So being a fitness instructor, you're a role model for your class members. They're going to be looking up to you and they're coming to you for motivation and inspiration. So it's really important to take care of your body by mixing up your training. So I would highly recommend doing strength and conditioning exercises. Yoga is fantastic for dancers as well, because not only is it great for your flexibility, but it's great for strengthening and toning and your core strength. Pilates is really good for dancers because it will help with your balance and being able to fling yourself about. I love doing HIIT training and hill sprints as well, because this really boosts your stamina and spikes your heart, and I find this really increases my fitness and helps me get through a whole turned up fitness workout without struggling for breath or anything. So yeah, if you're not used to doing hill sprints or anything, how I started, which I think was a great thing for me before I could actually go up onto the hills and do hill sprints. So if you like got a mile long road by your house or a park or whatever, you could just sprint a lamppost and then jog the next lamppost and sprint a lamppost and jog, or you could even sprint and walk and sprint and walk, whatever. But if you did that for like 10 or 20 minutes just up and down, that will really increase your fitness quickly as well. So I like to do sprints twice a week, so that works for me. So whatever works for you, but that's a good tip from me. So the second thing I would like to suggest would be technique. So as fitness instructors and whatever fitness program that you're teaching, it's really important that your technique is on point in order to deliver a safe and effective workout for your class members. So making sure you're performing and delivering the right technique, and to making sure that they're getting the benefits and they're working the right muscle groups. And in a turned up fitness class, the routines are cleverly choreographed to work specific muscle parts. So a little thing I would suggest is if you record yourself, so once you've learned the choreography, just film yourself and watch yourself back, because sometimes it can feel like you're doing it right, but actually you're not. So you'll be able to see and judge yourself just by looking at yourself. So that's a big thing I would recommend. And preparation, third tip would be preparation, so being prepared, so knowing your choreography inside and out. So it should also be automatic, like driving a car. You should never step foot into a studio hesitant or not knowing your choreography, because that will knock your confidence. So if you're going in totally prepared and you know your choreography inside and out, then there should be no dramas in the classroom. No, yeah. Going along to other instructors' classes is also a really good way of learning, because you learn lots of stuff from other people. And going along to technique training. As a turned up fitness instructor, we have technique training once a month, so that way I can really help the girls with technique and making sure they're performing the moves in the right way. But there are other dance classes about that do technique training that you could pick stuff up from. Third tip is preparation. So making sure you're super prepared and you know your choreography inside and out before stepping foot into the classroom, because you don't want to be trying to remember the routine. So you want to make sure your routines are cemented into your heads before going into a class. Uniform is really important. It looks really professional when the instructor turns up and ready. But not only this, it's almost like stepping into character. And I'll never forget when I was a body attack instructor and I used to wear my long socks, my little shorts, my vest, my head mic on, my hair would be slicked back in a bun, and I'd feel ready for action. I used to feel so strong and powerful. And as a turned up fitness instructor, we wear our high-waisted leggings. If you know, you know. and our crop tops, our check shirts, our hair down, red lipstick, and instantly, as soon as I'm dressed up in my costume, I feel sassy and I feel ready to perform. So being dressed up also, yeah, it's like stepping into character. So I would highly recommend wearing your uniform and being branded. So you also want to make sure you have all your equipment with you. Like these iPhones now, they have these little wires, so always making sure you have all your equipment prepared, your disco lights. You want to arrive at the studio 15 minutes before so you can set the scene, put your lights on, get the music quietly playing in the background. But it also gives you time, if you're there a little bit before everybody else, that if there was a problem with the system or if there was a spillage on the floor, it just gives you time to get prepared and ready for when your class members attend. And it's also really nice to be there before they come to welcome them and greet them, have a little catch up, but always making sure you're starting bang on the dot. Always do an introduction at the start of every class so your class members know more about the programme and what they're coming into. I would always say, hi everyone, I'm Shakira Johnson, welcome to Turned Up Fitness. Turned Up Fitness is a dance fitness programme to R&B and dancehall music. It's energetic, it's fun, it's sassy, it's sexy, and we just happen to burn 900 calories. And if this is your first class today, even if you just do a few of the routines and then add on the rest next week, that's absolutely fine. Take it at your own pace and have fun. And also, it's good in some of the routines is variations. In a Turned Up Fitness class, we play with levels, but not everybody can get up and down onto the floor. So if you know you've got a track and we're going to use lower levels, just give the class member an option always. My fourth tip is how to wow your class members. So this is the magic, this is the fitness magic. So my big advice would to be, as soon as you press play, you literally have to just transform. As soon as the music comes on, I am no longer Shakira Johnson, I am Beyonce or Sasha Fierce or whoever your idol is, but you just, as soon as you press play, you're in the zone. So you want to be there at the front of the class, and we always start with a strong pose. We start and finish with a strong pose. This shows your class members that you're ready to start and you're ready to finish. And you want to connect with the whole room. You want to create a oneness with the whole room. So eye contact, engagement, alertness, and you want to be performing the dance routines with maximum energy and maximum clarity. So in a dance fitness program is different teaching to how you would teach a body pump class or another fitness class which is more technical, vocal. Like, you don't really have time to shout out the teaching points, which is why it's important that you're performing them to your best, so your class members will mirror you. So how we lead the class is with cues and our voice. So it's making sure in a workout, so all of our tracks, there's 14 routines in a Turned Up Fitness workout. We start with a warm-up, the second pulse raiser, we have the mid-section called It's a Workout, and then we have the sassy zone and then the cool down. So in the workout, your class members will go on this big journey and then you wow them and grip them towards the end of the classroom, and that where the sassy zone is, and that's where you just take them on this roller coaster of a journey. So if you're in the 14 routines, each routine has a cardio interval training. So they're all sectioned in three to four layers, mostly 3 layers. And all of the tracks are to the count of 8. So all of the choreography is to the count of 8. So as leaders, you want to be performing the dance routines at your absolute best, but you want to be leading at your absolute best. So on the 8th count, so it would be you cue before the next change of move. So you want to be hand signalling right before on the 4th count. So it gives you enough time to show the class members before you're about to change the move to go into the next move. And this is how you get to lead the whole group. So they need to know before you change the move. So you need to give them plenty of time with hand signals, so then that way they're gonna go into the next move. And this, once your cues, so they can just be big hand signals, they can be facial expressions, taps of the leg. Sometimes if you're counting, because the song's up to the count of 8, I will always count backwards, because if you're shouting 1, 2, 3 or whatever, you're never going to know when you're going to stop. But if you're counting backwards to 4, 3, 2, they're going to know 1 is the next change. So it's signalling every single move before the change of move, so that way your class members can follow. So this is what's taken you from the dancer to the leader. And when you have a class of 50 people all in absolute sync and dancing all the exact same, it's like fitness magic. It creates such an atmosphere and such a buzz, but you have to be in control of the whole room with connection, energy, cues on point, clarity. So as well as being on point of all of your cues and stuff, in a turned up fitness workout, as I said, you have the different sections, but we also have different types of music. I think this is probably where my acting experience has come into it. It's almost like getting into character for each track, because they're so different. Like you have the genres of hip hop and dancehall, you have sassy R&B. So for the hip hop tracks, it's almost like you add more attitude, more thuggish, more J-Lo, more just like, thinking real street and playing with the rhythm and playing with the sharpness. And in the dancehall tracks is like more carnival, more fun, and like you cannot help to make a face in the dancehall routines. It's almost, we've all got a making bunks up face. And the sassy routines as well. This is the most powerful part of the workout. This is where you can really connect with yourself, and it's all sensual and lovely, and you can see all the women's confidence really growing in these tracks. So playing with your emotions, and the more you go for it, the more your class members are going to go for it. So I would just suggest, like, never hold back. You want to give each routine maximum energy, like level 10, right to the end of the track till you finish with a pose. Because the more you go for it, the more your class members will go for it. And it's really inspiring and fun and engaging if you see an instructor at the front giving it at all, because it's going to motivate your class members. But in the routines as well, as I was saying, they've got cardio intervals. So you will get a little piece of the workout that's going to shock your heart rate and give it a little like, oh my goodness, I'm out of breath. But they come in layers. So we have 3 layers. So the first round of the track, you're going to be introducing the next move, getting the class members used to what's about to come next. You need to be like clearly on point with all of your cues. The second round, they get used to the tone and they sense what's going on. And then the third round is where you can really drive in and push it. But this is the point where actually you feel really out of breath and like, oh, and yet you want to be careful that your energy level doesn't dip. So you want to be topping it like right through to the end and pushing yourself to the limit. And this way is going to increase your fitness as well as your class members' fitness. And you have 14 routines. So in each of these routines, you want to max out energy in every single one. So energy and clarity. Yeah, the great thing is about Turned Up Fitness as well is you have so many amazing routines to choose from, and it's lush of the freshness of it. That way, your class members are never ever going to get bored. So it's keeping the class exciting. I'm not saying change the whole workout every single lesson, because people like familiarity and they like to be able to get used and they like to know the dances. But if you are doing the same class over and over again, it can get really boring. So keeping your classes exciting, introducing new routines and keeping it fresh is amazing as well. So the great thing as well about a group exercise class is the music. Is a class obviously to music, and music drives it. And as a dancer, it's just a place where you can really express yourself and let go and have fun, and hitting every single beat strong and sharp on the beat, and allowing the lyrics to carry you. And one thing that I love about music is playing with the different rhythms of music. And I also, as much as I go for songs that you can sing along to a bit, or songs that really catchy and fun, but if you're listening to underneath the music, they always have like lush instruments that you can just get lost in. I've got something to play for you to show you. So ba-ba-dum, 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 ba-ba-dum. Can you hear it? Like the ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-da-ba-dum, ba-ba-dum. Don't worry, I'm not going to give up my day job. I can't sing to save my life. But I just love it. I love being able to use the music to really express yourself and just have fun. And yeah, so again, the more you're going for it and the more you're engaged with the music, the more your class members will as well. And the music is the best part about it, isn't it? Let's be honest. We do use all the best R&B and dancehall tracks out there. And that's if you're an R&B and dancehall lover, that is. So the last thing, my last tip would be is consistency. So people like people, and your class members are going to be coming to your classes because they like you. Well, if they keep coming back to your class, it means they definitely like you. So it's being reliable and consistent and making sure you're there for them. And sometimes you can't help getting sick, but if you are sick, try to get the class covered. But I would try not to do this on the regular, because people like to come for you. Yeah, and it's also about being consistent with your marketing strategies and your social media. If you're set up and you're an instructor by yourself, then you have to do a lot of work to bring your class members into the classroom. But it's being consistent with your marketing strategies and your social media strategies. Is there anything else I can think of that I can share with you? I think that's it. Yeah, I think so. If my 5 tips just to refresh was self-empowerment, the technique, preparation, wowing your class members, and staying consistent. Hey, thank you for listening to me today. I hope you found something useful and you've picked something up. You can follow me on Instagram at Turned Up Fitness, and if you have any feedback of things that you like from this podcast, I'd really appreciate your feedback. And if there's anything else that you'd like me to share with you from my experience, then let me know for the next episode. Love ya, Shakira.
Turn to Fitness is a movement with thousands of women getting involved and just absolutely loving the Turn to Fitness effect. It is so much fun and it makes you feel super sassy.
All I can say is, if you are not doing Turned Up right now, you are missing out.